We're gonna go into this month, because I don't even know. We spent $27,909 in 30 days. That's almost $1,000 a day. I don't know. I don't know. No comment on that one. See that right there? Good morning. I don't know why I start every YouTube video with a clap. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a new video. If you guys are new, subscribe. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. I just had chocolate, so my teeth have black in them. No judgment. Today's video is exactly what it is. It's gonna be almost like a story time, but I'm gonna break things down. We're gonna go into my bank account. And I got this idea for this video because my girlfriend told me people were making videos about worst thing they spent money on, their worst financial decision, all this stuff. And then I just made a TikTok joking about how I made my first $1 million, and I'm like, I didn't make $1 million, obviously. It was a joke. Okay. And then it got me thinking of a video idea. Today's video is exactly what you guys read. Today I'm gonna be telling you guys how I spent over $200,000 in 1 year. 1 year. Technically this was last year, but I just checked. My bank only has 1 year span. So I only have from last March until this April. And still the past couple months is when I realized this and I'm fixing it, okay? We'll get into it at the end of the video. Don't worry about it, you'll see. But I've still almost spent $200,000 still in the past year. But essentially that over $200,000 mark was from, I think I checked it in December, literally December to December. So pretty much exactly 2019. Before we get into this, there's gonna be some stuff I'm gonna clarify at the end of the video, some like buts and some explaining. Like there's some further explaining that I had realized, so there is reasoning. I didn't just spend $200,000 on a bunch of nothing. Before we get into this, I wanna say, I am not rich as shit. Okay, I know it may seem like I am very wealthy. I am not. I do well for myself, but by no means was me spending $200,000 1/6 of what I made that year. No, God no. I wish. I really fucking wish. Like I said, I'm gonna get into things. So as much as I wanna say it was a bad year for me, I'm gonna explain a past situation and explain why I think this year happened the way it did, and then we'll go into breaking down what the f I spent my money on. So let's start here. 2.5 years ago, maybe, something like that, me and my brother had made the most money we'd ever made in a year. I think we made like $80,000, which was crazy being, I think I was like, at the time I was like 17 years old or no, maybe 18 years old. And we had spent $80,000. And I remember that year, I never regretted that year. We did so much traveling. We ate so much good food. It was pretty much a time in our lives we were so young we needed to learn how fast we could spend money. Then taxes came around and I didn't plan for taxes. There was more money I owed in taxes than I had. So what I had to do, I didn't really have an option. This wasn't me being an idiot. The spending part was me being an idiot. I had a college fund set up from my parents and my grandparents. This college fund, I don't remember how much money was in it, but it was like a good amount of money. I had to dip into my college fund to pay for my taxes because I had made poor decisions. But like I said, I wasn't actually bummed about it. I obviously dropped out of college, so I never used that for college, but I should have had that left in there and I could have put it in stocks or a different fund, a different trust, and had it appreciate, but my dumbass had to use it for taxes. So I always use that year as the year that I learned how fast you could spend money. I feel like it happens with a lot of people who make a decent amount of money at a young age. You just don't know. Unless you have financial advisors really breaking down how much money you're spending, you don't really pay attention. So that happens. 2 years go by and I've been decent with my money. Also, I am not one to be open about this. This is something I've literally only told 3 people in my life and have somehow made the conscious decision to make a whole video about it, telling all you guys about it. Until today, this was personal. 3 people. My girlfriend, one of my friends, and my brother. And that's it. I just wanted to make a video about it because everyone's making these financial videos and I think a lot of you guys can learn from it. I think it'll feel good to get off my chest. I'm definitely better at spending money, but people probably didn't know this. Do you guys remember when I lived in North Hollywood, my apartment in North Hollywood, and I had that big glass corner bedroom, and I had an apartment with my buddy Mario. Since we split the apartment, I paid a little more because I had the master bedroom. My corner glass high-rise view bedroom was the master, and I had paid a little more for that. People don't know this. After utilities and such, that was about $2,000 a month I was paying for a single bedroom. I know. Was it dumb? Not necessarily, because I always wanted to live in a high-rise, and if you compare that to like somewhere in West Hollywood, off Wilshire, or something like that, you're looking, even a 1-bedroom apartment, you're looking at like $8,000 minimum, all the way up to like somewhere $20,000 penthouses. So I wasn't being a complete idiot, and it was something I wanted to do, and I knew what it was gonna cost, and I worked really hard when I lived there, just because that kind of motivated me, and it wasn't really a problem. But I'm just saying that to let you guys know my expenses were definitely high, and I definitely didn't spend a little amount of money over the next year. I kind of just kept track more of what I was spending, made sure my bank account was always going up. Now, here's the part of the video. I had never honestly, this is bad, and this is where you guys can learn from this. And a lot of people have made videos about this. It's very important to keep track of your spending. See it broken down into what you're spending on groceries, what you're spending on gas, what you're spending on extracurricular activities, bills, utilities, clothes, like stuff like that is very important. And I clearly wasn't doing this. All I was really doing was looking at my bank account and making sure it was always going up. Well, I'm not gonna tell you guys how much money I make or have made in the past, but I will tell you this much. If your bank account goes up $3,000 in a month, there's a big margin there of money that poofed. And I didn't really think about that concept. Obviously, let's just theoretically say I made $15,000 one month, okay? If I made $15,000 one month and my expenses I have to pay are $3,000 with a couple other necessities like food, gas, obviously stuff like that, my bank account should theoretically go up around $10,000, okay? Well, I wasn't really thinking that way. I was honestly just looking at my bank account, and as long as it was going up, I had no problem with it because in my mind, and I know a lot of people are like this, like I enjoy making money. It's like a game to me. I just like to see my bank account going up. The problem is when you start making, some would say, decently large sums of money, your bank account needs to be going up a ton for you to be saving. And I don't think I was focusing on that. And like I said, trust me, there's things I want to mention right now, but I'm not going to mention them to confuse you guys. I'm going to go over that at the end of the video. The $200,000 was not just thrown away on dumb shit the whole year. I have some reasons. Was I an idiot still? Absolutely. Were there things I didn't need to buy? Absolutely. We're gonna go in a couple months because all the months are actually very similar and you guys are gonna wanna punch me in the mouth when you find these out. Do not, okay? I've had to learn again, but there were still very smart investments I made that year. So this was definitely a better year than me making 80,000 and spending 80,000 and not having money for taxes. Like, trust me, not the case. So I had out of nowhere realized that my bank allows me to see my spending summary. And I never knew that because I actually had to go into my separated transactions and then at the top it says spending summary. So I one day decided to go to my spending summary and there's a section that says year to date. I did not know how much money I was spending. When you break down $200,000 a year, it's almost $20,000 a month on average. Yes, you heard that right. Where the was I spending $20,000 a month? I don't live in no penthouse. And probably the worst part of the video, because all you guys are probably thinking about this the whole time, oh, well, he has all these nice cars. This is not including my cars. Because when I had purchased my cars, I have my money separating with savings. My savings account in my account isn't actually my savings. I just have my money separated that way I don't drop a ton of money. And I had a large sum of money in my savings and that's the one in my car. So this is just includes my checking. So none of this includes my cars. Which if it did, would be phenomenal because that would cut that down by like half. Yeah, that's the worst part. And I thought for a second when I was looking at this, I'm like, okay, it's just because I bought my cars. Nope, was not included in there. And the fact that everything was broken down monthly would have mean 1 month would have said 100 some. Then the rest of the months would have obviously dropped by an average of $10,000 with that, whatever. I might be confusing you guys, but you get my point. It was without my car. I started looking and I'm like, what am I spending that money? What could physically? Let me tell you guys, this is why it's important to go through the things you spend your money on. Stuff adds up very quick and there are a lot more sections. When it starts breaking down and it names things, like I think clothing was one of them. Like it knows like retail, it knows what things I'm spending money on retail. It knows food, it knows gas, it knows I don't know, it just breaks everything down by the name and it knows all these things. So you don't understand the amount of different sections you're spending money on until you see it broken down in front of you. And that was one thing I was just like, holy shit. Like I didn't believe it. I was like, this has to be something wrong. And I went through it and it turns out there was not something wrong. Just an idiot. I mean, I'm not an idiot. I'm young and there's a lot of things that I have to learn along the way myself. I'm a very independent kid for my age. I live on my own. I have no financial help from really anyone. Some would say I should, but I'm not someone to like my money in the hands of other people. And I know some of you guys are like, well, maybe you should start to like it because you need it. I don't really think that way. I think that these are things that I learned from and this is me learning myself, but if I had other people controlling my money, I don't like that. I'd like to see everything. There's things that financial firms, should we say, cannot provide me that I would like. And for that, I don't need it and I like to learn things this way. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna open this app and I am going to show you guys 3 separate months. I'll read you every one of my months right now. Keep in mind, you guys are gonna be proud of me though, the past 2 months. The quarantine has been helping extra. I'm gonna break you down every single month. I don't know why I'm doing this. Keep in mind, it's really honestly to help some of you guys to maybe think twice about the money you're spending and to really just keep track of it. A lot of these apps have a lot of really helpful things that I had found out a little late. There's a lot of websites, there's a lot of apps, there's a lot of things that can help you separate your finances and really break it down in an easier way for you to understand. There's a lot of cool apps like Acorn that take a little bit of every time you spend and put it in a savings account. And there's so many things to learn. There's so many things people don't tell you in school. And lucky for us, it's 2020, so we have the internet to help us out. So I recommend recommend everyone go on the internet and just learn a lot of this stuff for yourself. May 2019, I hope I had already gotten you guys in the mindset that this is not gonna be surprising, but it probably still is. I spent $16,238. It's not the worst of it. I would hope that's the worst of it, but it's not. June, I spent $16,797. July, I spent, we're gonna go into this month, because I don't even know. We spent $27,909 in 30 days. That's almost $1,000 a day. I don't know. I don't know. I have no comment on that one. July was, I hope that's the worst month. August, I spent $18,105. Looks like I was budgeting in August compared to July. Oh God, maybe I spent a lot of money on the 4th of July or something. I don't know. September, I spent $16,296. October, I spent $19,860. November, I spent $18,936. Another thing let's keep in mind, I believe in September, I moved out of my no-home apartment back to Temecula. I was paying $600 a month rent to my brother, because I was living with my brother. So my rent dropped by almost $1,400 a month. It's not reflecting anywhere here, which is weird too, because then I was living in Temecula, so you'd think I'd spend less money in Temecula than I would in I don't know. December, I spent $15,000. So I think at the beginning of December is when I realized this. I think the last week of December is when I really was like, holy shit, and I'm gonna start paying attention to the money I spent. So December is where it started. So a portion of that month, there's a clear reason why. It was definitely a portion because I had still spent $15,000. But I had realized it and I had started checking my finances. I also think I had spent a lot of money on car parts those months, knowing that I was eventually gonna get a decent percentage of my investment back. January, I spent $12,700. Once again, another $3,000 down, but still, like, guys, trust me, I know, f***ing absurd. I should not be spending any more than $5,000 a month max. Like, that should be on a high note. And I have a problem because I like food, and I like nice food, and I eat out. A lot of the times I have to travel for things, and then sometimes things aren't covered by companies or a brand, you know what I mean? So sometimes I have to, I don't know. I don't know. Now, here's where it gets better. February, I had spent, okay, February, I'll no, I spent $17,600. I don't know. Let's dip into February. That'll be one of the months. We'll dip into the highest month. We'll dip into February, where I was supposed to be keeping track of my finances, and then I spent another $18,000. There's gotta be an excuse for that one. Like I said, in the end of the video, there are gonna be some ifs and buts that I need to explain. So before you think I'm a complete idiot, I'm not a complete idiot. I'm definitely an idiot, but I'm not a complete idiot. Now this is where it gets better. March of 2020, I spent $5,700. I was taking it serious. Still, like I said, I should not pass $5,000, but I do have a lot of expenses, My insurance for my cars is a lot. If you guys want to see a whole separate video of my expenses, the things I have to spend my money on, what I spend in a month, well, I don't know, my expenses in a month. I don't know. I'll title it something good when it comes out. If you guys want to see that video, go down below, let me know, and give the video a thumbs up. If this video gets a bunch of love, I will make that video. And then April, it is April 16th, so we're halfway through the month, and I've only spent $1,300. Keep in mind, there's a quarantine, so there's a lot less things I spend my money on, which is great though. These are things you learn. It shows me that I spend a lot of my money on travel. I spend a lot of my money on food, going out. I've been ordering a lot of food lately, but a lot of it has been by the courtesy of Postmates. Shout out to Ben Trin, go follow him, my plug. So that's everything. That is my entire year. Like I said, that adds up. I think I totaled that to like $180,000. So in the past year, I've spent about $30-some thousand less. I think it came out to $170-some from 4 months ago in the year. So in these 4 months, I've improved. Not a ton, but I have. Here's what we're gonna do. We'll just go into 2 months. I'm gonna break down to you different spendings of those 2 months, and that's how we're gonna end up the video. I'm an idiot. Okay. July, like what? $27,909. See transactions. Entertainment and fun. I don't know what that includes, but I can see transactions. So I'll give you a couple examples. I don't even know what that is. Six Flags. Movies. Cinepolis. So I spent $50 because it's a bougie movie theater. DAZN is a monthly membership subscription. Like just dumb stuff. So that's entertainment and fun. Health and wellness. $85. What is health and wellness? CVS Pharmacy. What did I spend $50 at CVS on? I don't know. I had an LA Fitness membership that I wasn't even using. Like, just dumb shit that I did not need to be spending money on. Cash out, $5. Uncategorized, $50. Shopping, $8,142. There's gotta be explanation for this. iTunes is on here. I don't know why iTunes is on shopping. That doesn't count. I did spend $2,000 on a certain piece of jewelry. So that's a rare occasion, I think, unless the other months I did that too. That's a big bump of this month. $2,000. Whenever I buy something like that, A, it's something that in term, technically I will get some sort of return on investment on one day, because these things like diamonds have value, they have worth that could appreciate, depreciate, whatever it may be. That was also with me getting a big hookup, shout out to Forever Diamond. That, an equivalent designer, like if I went Cartier or something, would have been $20,000. The hell did I buy in Vegas that costed $762? What even is Urban Necessities? I don't know, we're gonna need to look into that. Bro, I don't even know. How are there two of the exact same price Amazon charges in a row? Yeah, that's a rough one. Shopping includes car parts. Car parts, I will get some of my money back, decent majority of the money back, especially some of these parts my dumbass never installed on my car. So I still have them, they're brand new. If you want them, you have a Mark 7 Golf R GTI, hit me up. Automotive, another $2,600. I don't know what that's on. Gifts and donations, $50. Personal, $150. Here's a bad one. Travel, $2,000. Bills and utilities, $11,000. What the f? On what? Hulu, Google, like a lot of these are my subscriptions that I have. Like I don't know why I have a Hulu subscription. See? What am I doing? Google storage, that's just like for things. Capital One, my insurance is very expensive. Car payment. Keep in mind too, here's another crazy thing that, like I said, this is gonna be one of those things that I would have mentioned at the end. I was double paying on my car payment, which is no problem. I have no problem with that. I'm gonna pay the whole car off anyway, so money will go there. Whatever, it's fine. It doesn't do anything. But what I was doing, I didn't think for some reason I had auto pay on, but I had auto pay on. So I would go in every month and I would pay my car payment, and then it would then take out for auto pay again. So I was double paying my car payment, which in a year, my car payment for my Golf is about $500 a month. That right there is already $500 out of every month extra I was spending that's just going towards the equity I had in my car. So that, again, there's certain ifs and buts, and there's more I'm gonna go into at the end, big ones to explain. And then there's certain things, like I put $5,000 into a stock account. I never actually used that $5,000. I actually ended up taking it out later. I was just putting it in there in case I decide I want to put money in stocks, and at the time I didn't, and I took it out. So there's certain things. These are ifs and buts. My rent at the time in this month was obviously $2,000. And then again, another if and but we'll get into at the end of the video, but one of them being transferring money, because this just includes spending. When I cover something for someone and then they Venmo me, I'm spending more money than I technically am, because someone is then sending me that money back, but that's not included in my spending summary. And I use that a lot. Like I will cover food for a whole table of people and then they'll Venmo me, but that's not included. All that this gets is what I've spent. So I'll get into that further in the video, but these are things that I have to explain at the end of the video. Not every month was like that. That was almost $10,000 higher than my second biggest month. So that was just me being an absolute idiot. And I hope you guys can learn from that, because it doesn't matter how much money you make, it's all relative. So there's someone out there who makes $1 billion who could have spent $1 billion in a year. I don't know how you got that rich with that poor of a spending habit, but still, you get my point. You could make $600 a month and be spending $600 a month, and that's what I'm telling you. This is what it is to help you. Now let's go look at why I spent all that money in February, because I'm wondering why it was still $17,000 when I was watching my spending. I paid taxes that month. I'm not gonna tell you guys what I paid that month, but it was a big majority of that month, and that is why I was still doing good. Knew there was a reason. That's pretty much all of it. I clearly dropped every aspect of that month. I was doing well. That means I probably spent only a couple $1,000s that month, so I'm fine. That is the explanation. That is how I spent $200,000 in a year. Now, before we end this video, let me explain some other things. If I were to go through every month of that, and even especially the months before, I spend a lot of money on my videos for you guys. Certain concepts that just naturally take a lot of money. For example, there was a video I filmed in that year where I bought Jordan one item from every store in the mall. I probably spent like $500. There's another video where I bought the cheapest item at every store on Rodeo Drive. I spent like $1,300. And I do this often in that year on average. So some months maybe being 1,000, some months being 10,000. I could spend probably on average $5,000 a month on my videos on YouTube. And that's a lot of money. 5,000 average a month could be upwards of 60 to maybe more, $80,000 if my average is a little off. $80,000 of that would bring that down a lot on just stuff that I'm spending for my life, when that's a big majority of money I'm investing back into myself, my brand, and I don't mind that. Like I said, a big one is transferring money. I will cover certain things for a lot of people and get paid back. Well, on my spending summary, all it's gonna see is the money I put out, not the money I was getting back in. And it's upwards again of another maybe $20,000. I'll cover flights, trips, hotels, food for large groups of people. I'm always the one to say use my card as long as everyone Venmos me, and that's the risk risk I take. Sometimes people don't send me money back. Not everyone are great people all the time, even though I surround myself with great people. That's just the moral story. There's a lot of different things in there that you don't notice. So this is another thing to help you guys learn is when you guys go, if you guys decide to go look at your finances in your bank account more deeply, or maybe in the future you do, make sure before you just freak out, you look into things deeper. I know it's crazy that I spend that much money, but if I was running a business, I'd be doing the same thing. I'd be investing a bunch of my money back into the business. I have no problem doing that for a return in the future. And it's been 4 years with you guys and I have no regrets. Obviously in this video, no, I did not spend $200,000 on just shit. I am not that rich. I would not do that. I'm not an idiot, but I am kind of an idiot. So that is the breakdown. I never really thought I'd tell the story, but it doesn't give you guys too much information. I don't mind telling you guys that. It's an experience that I went through and I wanted you guys to know that. So subscribe to the channel so we can test this out and not spend $200,000 next year. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I am back home once again. I said that in my last video, back home. I am motivated again, feeling good. A lot of cool videos for you guys coming. I'm gonna go pick my puppy up now, which is a whole nother separate video because he just got neutered. Poor guy's gonna have a cone for almost 2 weeks. Follow my Instagram, follow my TikTok. Like the video if you guys want to see me go deeper into my expenses per month on average. I love you guys. Peace. I'm really going now, I swear. And I know I look like Harry Potter with these glasses. They're blue light. What's up?